Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer and this is my 22-week pregnancy update. So this week I'm still emotional, but I promise I'm not going to cry. I'm going to hold it together. So a few days ago I went for my VBAC class at the hospital. Actually, it wasn't a class. I thought it was a class, so I didn't take my notes with me or anything, because generally when I've been to a class I haven't needed them. And there was no class. It was a one-on-one like antenatal appointment, and I should have brought my notes, but it was fine. But if you don't know, a VBAC is a vaginal birth after having a cesarean, and I have previously had a cesarean with my son Ralph. So I've got to make the decision whether I go for a VBAC or I go for an elective cesarean. But she gave me so much information, pros and cons of both, of a VBAC, of a cesarean. And what was really good is because it was a one-on-one, she actually went through all my notes from my previous labour, and I had read surgeon's notes that I've never ever read before, and found out that my son was previously back-to-back, which would probably explain why I couldn't get him out. And yeah, just giving me loads of information. So I am going to do a separate video on that and talk you through the facts that I found out and how I've come to sort of make my decision, so look out for that one. Other than that, this week I'm still experiencing the same things, still got morning sickness. I really thought it would have gone by now. I've tried eating as soon as I've got up in the morning, but then that just makes me more sick. So I think I've just got to come to terms with that I might have this all the way through my pregnancy, but at least it is only in the morning. Still getting really bad headaches. I did go to the doctors this week and they checked my blood pressure and all the other bits and pieces, and they're happy with all of that. All they want me to do is have a blood test to check my iron levels. Problem is that I can't get a blood test for 2 weeks. And I had a little bit of a blubber about that, because it was like, what am I going to do for 2 weeks? So I've kind of come to the decision to try something myself, and a few people said like my iron levels could be low, and that's what the hospital, the doctors have said. So I've been trying these lately, and they're like iron supplements. They just come in like little sachets and you can take them daily. You do have to be careful if you're taking them alongside like pregnant care vitamins as well. And I have run out of my pregnant care vitamins for the last couple of days, so I hadn't actually taken them, which is why I've been taking these. And I've got more vitamins now, so I'm back on them. But since I've been taking these, my headaches have been so much better. So I do think this has something to do with it. But I'm going to keep my my blood test appointment anyway, just so they can check that out. But definitely feeling a lot better while I'm taking extra iron. I'm experiencing quite a lot of heartburn at the minute, and it doesn't seem to matter what I eat or what time I eat it. It just seems to be there quite a lot at the moment. So I'm going to go and see the pharmacist and see if I can get something for that later today. Still got sciatica, and it is getting worse. And the pain in my bum cheek, I don't know, it's a bit of a strange feeling. It's not like a pain. It kind of makes me laugh a little bit as well, because it just sort of gets me like out of the blue. But I did speak to the midwife about sciatica, and she said she can put me on this register and I can be referred, but it can take like a good few weeks, and then I'll end up seeing a physio. So it's not something I really need to go through the hospital for. We've got a physio that we've used for like sports and things before, so I think if it continues, I'll just book in with my own physio and see if we can sort that out. I have actually spoke to the physio, and she said that acupuncture is meant to be really good, so Craig found it hilarious that I might have loads of needles stuck in my bum. But yeah, I'll let you know if I book that one in. But something really exciting happened this week, and Craig felt the baby move. I've been trying to get him to feel it for weeks, and every time he puts his hand on my belly, the baby doesn't kick that much. But it was in the night, we'd gone to bed, and I was like, Craig, quick, feel. And he felt so many kicks. So yeah, I just feel it's lovely that like Craig can start experiencing it. I can't wait for Ralph to start feeling the baby as well. So it's getting really exciting. At 22 weeks, the baby is now the size of an aubergine or a spaghetti squash, and it's hit a bit of a weight milestone this week. The baby is now 1 pound, and it measures about 11 inches long. So the baby is developing its sense of touch and has got quite a strong grip now. There's not a lot in the womb for it to grab onto, but it might actually be grabbing onto the umbilical cord, but that's fine. It's nothing to worry about. The umbilical cord is tough enough to handle that. The baby's sight is also being a lot more fine-tuned now, and it's becoming a lot more like sensitive towards light and dark. I know I've said in previous updates that the baby can sense light and dark, but this is becoming a lot more like fine-tuned now, even though the eyelids are still fused shut. And you can put a flashlight on your belly, that's totally fine, and your baby will be able to sense that light, although generally the room is actually still pretty dark. And here is my baby bump at 22 weeks. I do feel like I've got a bit bigger this week. I've really like noticed the stretching, and I can actually like feel my belly getting a bit bigger. I've noticed that clothes are getting slightly tighter. So yeah, definitely a bit of growth this week. But that's it for my 22-week update. Thanks again for watching. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I always love hearing from you, so please drop me a comment below, and I do respond to every comment I get. But thanks again, and I will see you next week at week 23. Bye!